The transfer window is beginning to heat up in Scotland. TIERNEY is back at Celtic. It probably will be the biggest transfer of the summer. But another big question is who is going to be alongside him for Celtic in that left-back position. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football here for the SPFL transfer roundup for the 12th of June. And yes, we know that TIERNEY is back at Celtic, but Celtic still need a secondary left-back. Looks like Greg Taylor is going to be at the door. Doesn't look like they're interested in signing Jeffrey Schlupp. So at this point, they do need to get somebody in. And who's that somebody going to be?
Well, it could be a certain man that started against Liechtenstein on Monday. It could be Josh Deutsch from Spfl, who recently got them promoted back to Serie A. And I tell you what, he's a good player. Dare I say, he's a great player. It's just unfortunate for him that he's in the one position for Scotland where they've got about 20 left backs. But Celtic don't have that luxury. But again, they've got Kieran Tierney. And does Josh Deutsch really want to leave Serie A to play second fiddle to Tierney?
Josh Deutsch is another one of those players, and there's been quite a lot over the last few years that has got away from the old firm and has left to go abroad or to go down south, when in reality Celtic Rangers should have paid up the money to get him for Hibs, and it would have been a hell of a lot cheaper. I think he's one of those players that I just don't think will come back. Same with Lewis Ferguson. To me, the chance of Rangers signing Lewis Ferguson are done. I don't see.
You have to wait till they're like 34,
at the end of their career.
34. Aye, that's it. That's the sad reality of it.
Yeah, now, there is multiple reports suggesting that the Scottish champions are set to revive their interest in the ex-Hibs man, but I just don't see it happening. You know, Doig just got, a cap there for Scotland. He's helped Spfl get promoted back to Serie A, one of their standout players, and they paid £5 million for him. If Celtic are going to sign him, for me, they would be having to pay a lot more than $5 million, and I just don't see them paying $5 million for a guy that isn't going to be starting. If Kieran Tierney wasn't back at Celtic, I could possibly see this deal going ahead, but Celtic, in my opinion, are not paying. I think it would take closer to $10 million at least to get Doig, and I don't think they're paying that for a guy.
Yeah, I've seen rumours about Giovani paying 12 for him. Celtic are certainly not going to pay 12 million for Josh Deutsch. If they're not going to pay 10 for Lennon Miller, who would probably start, and they're not going to pay 12 for Josh Deutsch, are they? No, 12. I mean, you're just talking about 5. A left back is just not the sort of position you spend that money on, especially backup.
But they are looking for a left back, and another player that they've got eyes on, and reports are saying that Celtic have scouted, is James Penrice. Had a good season at Hearts. Hearts got him on a free transfer from Livingston, and he was a standout player for Hearts. Undoubtedly, last season he was head and shoulders above everyone else. I think he's another good left back. Could he have a Scotland cap in the next year or two? I mean, maybe. I think he's good enough to get called up, but again, it's just the same story. The left back position is Scotland are really, they've got depth in that area. So I don't know, but I think out of the two, Celtic would be more likely to sign James Penrice because he ain't going to cost the same kind of money that Josh Deutsch.
How much do you think he would cost? I talked about Penrice earlier. I put about 2 million on him.
I think Hearts would want a couple of million for sure.
Aye, I put 2 million on Pen. Would you sell him to Celtic? Would you want that?
No, I'd rather keep him.
Aye.
We've got the 10 million
contract.
We've got the £10 million Tony Bloom investment. Shove your 2 million up your arse.
You don't want 12 then?
No.
Just the 10?
10's enough.
Why don't Hearts spend it on Lennon Miller?
That's true, actually. Aye, there you go. That's a great fucking idea. Why don't we? Yeah, speaking of Lennon Miller, again, it looks like Celtic are trying to get their interest back. I just don't see it happening, man. The reports are that Celtic are poised to put in another bid for Lennon Miller, but I mean, if Motherwell want 10 million, I think that prices out the clubs in Scotland.
Doesn't price out Celtic. I know we made a video earlier talking about did it price them out. They can obviously afford 10 million. That's not the problem here. But the problem is, are they going to pay 10 million to a club in Scotland? A guy who's only got a year left on his deal, and also, is Lennon Miller guaranteed to start? Well, the reality is no. But we've seen with Adam Adair, he's not started for $9.5 million.
Players will be leaving. I think Hatate's gone.
Yeah.
And therefore, for me, Miller does start.
Oh, I know it's hindsight, it's a great thing, right? But if we put a poll up on Fog Football, what would you rather? 10 million on Lennon Miller or 9.5 on Adam Adair? I think people would rather it be spent on Lennon Miller.
Well, every day of the week.
I know it's hindsight, folks, but I think, when Celtic brought in Adam Adair, right, it could have worked out a lot better, right? Hell, maybe this season he'll bang in 40 goals and he'll go on to be sold for 15 million. I just don't see a scenario where Celtic don't make back profit on Lennon Miller.
Yeah, for me, if I was Celtic, I would get him. I look at their midfield. It's not as strong as they think it is.
More chance of making profit on Miller than there is on the Engels.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Hatate, for me, the best player in Celtic's midfield. Looks like he will be leaving. Aside from that, you've got an aging Callum McGregor, who I don't think's at his best anymore. Certainly didn't have a great season last season. A very overrated Arnie Engels, who just isn't worth the 11 million that they paid for him. You've got Bernardo, who's, I think, just an average player. And you've got Luke McCowan, who I do think is pretty good, but, I mean, he's not at a Hatate level. So, yeah, I personally don't think Celtic's midfield is as good as it.
Yeah, people talk about, like, we'd only make a couple of million back on him or something. Well, you got to bear in mind this as well. He'd actually be playing for you. It wouldn't just be a case he'd be coming and doing nothing.
Yeah, it's not
and just waiting to sell him on. This guy's ceiling, man, can hit extremely high heights, but it looks like it's going to be at Sunderland or someone like that.
Yeah, another player that Celtic are eyeing a move for, apparently, is Swedish star Benjamin Nygren. So, Sunsport understands that the Nordirland playmaker is on Brendan Rodgers' radar as he looks to boost his squad. So, we'll have to wait and see.
They're in talks with him. He's had 4 caps since his turn of the year for Sweden. So, it looks like he's no bad. 23, young, exciting talent. Could potentially be on the way.
Approximately would cost around 2 million. That's pretty good if you're getting a 23-year-old for 2 million.
But see, this is the problem again. It's like, that's worth spending 2 million on. Is spending 2 million on James Penrice worth it as a backup? It's just not.
No, it's not. But I mean, how much will the backup left back play for Celtic?
That is another thing. But as for this winger, we always talk about how Celtic look pretty weak on the wings once you lose Dyson Maeda. And Jota.
I honestly do not think this Celtic team is as good as some Celtic fans believe it to be. Jota, in my opinion, last season looked a shell of the former player that he was. And I get it was only about 18 months that had passed from his time in Saudi. But he did not look like the player that he was. And maybe it will take him time. But I think he had enough run of games in the team to get back up to full fitness and match sharpness and all that crap. To me, he just did not look that good last season. Kuhn,
still got decent stats.
For a 2-month period, looked incredible, and then just dipped. You've got Yang, who I don't think is Celtic quality. You've got James Forrest, who's almost sticking around for like a sentimental value. And then you've got that other guy coming back from Lewis Palmer, I believe. He's still at the club, but I don't see him having a future there. So, no, I look at Celtic's wide possessions. I don't think they're as strong as...
No, they're not, and this guy would definitely add to it. No two ways about it, but we have to wait and see, because Jota's obviously until, December, November time? It's a long time. And
if you're going to be playing Dyson Maeda through the middle, then you're losing your best.
And Kuhn's out of form, then you're kind of snookered, aren't
you? You're losing your best winger. I've seen Celtic fans say that they don't need a striker. Dyson Maeda through the middle, that's fine. What they need is a winger. I'm not saying they don't need wingers, but for me, if I was Rodgers and I had the choice between spending, let's say, 12 million on a striker or 12 million on a winger, I would choose the striker, because I do think Dyson Maeda is better out on the left. Now, yeah, he had a lot of goals and he was successful through the middle, but let's not get it twisted. I don't think he was playing through the middle because he's better through the middle. I think he's playing through the middle because Adam Adair is not good enough. In an ideal world, I think you play Maeda on the left.
Yes.
With a good striker through the middle. And then that gives you the other position where you can rotate between Kuhn and Jota, and whoever's not playing good, can be benched. And to me, that's what they should be doing, and not having Maeda through the middle.
No, that's what they need to do, but obviously, due to Adam Adair's dry spell, they had to play Maeda through the middle, and his form did drop off a wee bit, Maeda, at the end of the season. There, a lot of misses and mistakes and shit like that. But will Benjamin Nygren be the guy to get the job done?
I've seen his stats on FIFA. He's pretty quick.
Pretty quick.
I was thinking about signing him for Hearts,
that suits Celtic.
Right. but they outpriced me. Speaking of Rangers, what's happening with them? Well, according to reports, Foot Mercato, which is a French sporting website, they are claiming that Igamane is being tracked by Lens, Lille, Rennes and Strasbourg. And all 4 clubs are interested in Hamza Eigani. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I talked about that earlier on my channel, but here, just seems like bogus. Not bogus links, but it feels like these clubs in France just get fired out all the time with Igamane. Marseille, especially, I mean, they're not actually on that list, but I'll believe it when I see it. I think there's probably more chance of him going to the Premier League. I'm not. When do you see French clubs outside of PSG and Monaco the odd time spending like 15 million? Doesn't really happen.
Well, I mean, Ross McCormack of Strasbourg were linked with Lennon Miller, and he says that would be the best choice for Miller. I think Miller's too good to be going to Strasbourg, to be honest. Strasbourg,
absolutely. What is Igamane worth? I followed them between 10 and 15 million.
Don't know if he's worth that, but we'll see.
How much would you put him on the market for?
Well, I mean, if Adam Adea's worth 9.5, then I guess he is worth 10, isn't he? But
is that the goalpost? So,
to me, I need to see more for Igamane. I don't think Rangers should be looking to sell him.
No, I agree. I would keep him. It's not like we're asking. Well, I mean, I'd rather keep asking, but if the 25 million price tag, if that's what Rangers want, you can't turn that down.
Yeah, Brentford, Everton, and West Ham are also keen on Hamza Eigani, according to Football Insider. I think he is a good player, and I can see why clubs are interested. I just don't know. I think he's one of those players that it's hard to put a price on.
Yeah, but do you not feel like...
At the end of the day, he was out of favour to Dessers.
Do you know what we're asking, though? He's going to become 25 soon. I don't see Rangers getting 25 million, like, more than that for him, ever. So I think that's the peak of his value, unless something crazy happens.
Raskin?
Aye.
Well, I mean, if he signed a new 4-year deal or something like that.
Yeah, well, I guess that could be it, but... As for Igamane, yeah, you could sell him for 10, 12 now, but if he goes on to continue to have a great season and actually starts up front more and gets more goals and does what he did in Europe, like ripping Nice apart, getting that goal against Tottenham, shit like that, then you don't know what could happen. I'd keep him. I want to keep Igamane.
Do you think he should stay?
Yes, absolutely stay.
Aye.
Unless it's ridiculous money, but I don't know if it will be.
Speaking of ridiculous, Giovani van Bronckhorst is closing in on agreeing to become the next assistant manager at Liverpool. So Giovani van Bronckhorst, that'd be a good way to bounce back. Again, that'd be a cushy job.
Next to Arnie Slot. I tell you what though, that's a good position for Giovani van Bronckhorst. Fair play to him. Deserves it, because looking back in hindsight, he got fucking jobbed out by the Rangers board. No two ways about it.
Nah, he did. I think the fact that he got to a European final, that should have bought him more time.
Yeah, Clement greets, right, about he didn't get any time. Look how much more time he got with nothing in the bank.
I think Clement got... out of all the most recent managers, Clement got the most time.
I mean, European final, got his Champions League football.
Scottish Cup as well.
Aye. Yeah, you know what?
Scottish Cup as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an Aaron Ramsey fucking...
penalty away
for a
immortality.
Cup double.
Yeah, a European Cup double.
Not a shitey league and Scottish one. It's like a real cup double. So I do. Looking back, here I think it's very possible that Gio could have been given more time and still got sacked. But yes. I think he deserved the time. I think he should have got it.
No, I agree. Totally, and he didn't get back. Nowhere near back. So good luck to him.
Right, good luck to him. There has been some other minor transfers that we will talk about then. So Ewan Henderson has moved from Hamilton to Airdrie Unions on a free. Aidan Connolly has moved to Raith Rovers to Queen's Park on a free. Michael Roof has also moved to Queen's Park from Dumbarton. Stevie May, who was on loan at Livingston last season from St Johnstone, his St Johnstone contract is now over and he has joined Livingston on a free. So he will be playing for Livy next season in the top flight. Will he help them stay up? I don't know. I mean, Stevie May, I think in his prime was decent, but I think we've seen the best of him, and I don't know. I think Livingston will need a bit more firepower, but they've also got Zach Rudden, who has moved from Queen's Park to Livingston on a free as well. So I think that's two decent additions, keeping Stevie May, and then you got Zach Rudden in there as well. Livingston will be... giving some a chance.
No, absolutely. And I do think with Queen's Park, that's a couple of decent signings for them. But for Livingston, you know, they're not going to sign guys for millions of pounds here, folks. And I think signing 2 guys of that experience is a no-brainer.
Aye, I mean, it makes.
I'm surprised Brian Graham's not been like moved to Falkirk or something.
Yeah, there's a possibility, but he turned it down, didn't it?
No, that was the job.
Right, well.
The Partick Thistle job.
Right, well.
No, I'm just talking about Brian Graham's experience here.
Well, Brian Graham's not moving, so.
Well, he might move.
Well, he's not moved yet.
Well, he's not moved yet, guys, but is that us moving on?
Right, we're moving, that's it. Nothing else to talk about.
Big Jambo Bear doesn't like fucking Brian Graham.
I've no issue with Brian Graham, but I just don't know why he's been brought up. There's no news about Brian Graham. It just seems like a random name drop there.
To me, he's a better version.
Did Brian?
Because he's better than May and Rudden.
Did Brian Graham pay you to fucking promote him here or something? Or?
No, he did not.
No, but Stevie May was at Livingston last season. It makes sense why he would join the club permanently.
I know it would. Aye.
So I don't see.
I would have sacked Rudden then. What's his excuse? He wasn't at Livingston last season.
I don't know. Livingston just maybe.
He's a fud. He's like Connor Salmon. Remember him?
Maybe sack Rudden.
Former Heartsman.
Maybe they just believe sack Rudden gives them a better chance.
I'm sorry, Brian Graham's pish.
No,
I think someone should take a punt on him. Is all I'm saying.
Would you get the Rangers take a punt on him?
Here, let's see how bad this window turns out to be. Maybe I will.
Okay, yeah, I think he'd score more goals than Daniel, wouldn't he?
Of course he would.
Anyway, guys.
Hospital bills too.
That's it. Till next time. I know you'll get Brian Graham. Guy never seems to get injured.
Does not. No. Put respect on Brian's name.
Alright, respect Big Brian, guys. That's it. Till next time. Peace.